check. Okay. And what you're gonna do here is you're gonna strictly alternate pick. You're gonna go down, up. And if you really want to get nutty with it, you can put a metronome on. And you go down, up, down, up, down, up. After one measure, you're gonna switch to eighth notes, which means after one measure, 16ths, eighths, quarters, 1, 2, 3, and then back to eighths. 1 and 2 and 3 and 16ths. Eighths, 1 and 2 and 3 and quarters. 1, 2, 3. And then, like weightlifting, you can speed it up. And so it's simple. Yeah, it's just simple. And you don't need to set this up, right? You can just do it. And if you really want to do the truncated version, really where you're getting the test is at the higher frequency. So like, so you can just sit there and play, what is it? Eye of the Tiger. Just imagine, you know, that. So then there's that. Now try it with palm muting. So you can do the same exercise, but palm mute the whole time. Quarter. Eighths. 16ths. And this is hard because you almost have to develop like an independence between the bottom part of your hand and the top part of your hand. It's really hard at first. You got to relax that bottom part and then the top part moves. So that's kind of the annoying thing about guitar is that you have to almost be like an octopus where you can send signals to different fingers and move them independently.
Yeah, it's similar to drumming in a sense. You know, when you're going fast, you're using more fingers and then wrist and then almost a little any arm.
Yeah.
But
yeah. So it's funny how it's all related, and so if you get like masterful on one instrument, it becomes pretty easy to understand the process of learning another one, I think. But the other flip side is going, oh, I'm fluent with this instrument. Now I gotta humble myself and play another. It's just like shit. So then, you can then eventually apply that to power chords, right? Now the down up power chord, palm mute is kind of tough. Most people will start with just down only, and that's a great place. That'll give you like 90% mileage on that. So you can just sit there and. So now I'm just kind of wandering around, whatever. But the main priority, if the priority is right hand stuff, then just worry more about right hand stuff, right? And then you can do things like burst. So like. So that allows you to it's called ballistic, where you just like sprint for a little while and then come back. So that might be too fast of a tempo to start off with, right? But again, the down-up palm mute it's just hard. Down only is okay. And so for like, I don't know, my first 10 years of playing, I don't think I ever did down-up.
Yeah, almost all down.
Yeah, and I made it that way. Yeah. So in a way, that song is like an exercise as far as palm muting is concerned. Yeah. Now the only other thing too is when playing with overdrive, that's going to pick up all those other sounds, and so that's something that will come with time. You want to sneak that top of the finger up there. And then also the thing about power chords, Kanta, is you don't need to play them like this. You can play them with 2 fingers too. To me, there's almost no difference in the sound. Yep. Yeah, that's gonna be an area,
because that's it's switching every note.
Yeah, every 8 note. Yeah. So then this is called assessing what areas you need attention to. Now, this is not an important spot. You could get away with just going da 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 da.
Yeah, that's what I was
Yeah, and so for now, that's fine rather than playing it sloppy.
Yeah.
But when you wish it on yourself, just going. It becomes kind of like a metal. You know what I mean?
You're doing the E power.
Yeah. And that's logical, but those are weak. And I can do that too. But I like that a little better. And another thing you can do is, I'm just doing like a bass player, and I'm not even actually playing down here. I'm just moving my finger. Yeah. Just to get, and that to me I find is the hardest part, is just getting that pointer finger, because almost like on a piano, but you know how like the octave works, you just put your hand like that and you can kind of go around.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to just move these two.
Yeah, so it's not the issue of those two, it's the issue of the pointer finger. But yeah, if you're more comfortable doing it like that, that's perfectly fine. But it's just a matter of sitting there and practicing it. Like
matching the timing with the strums.
Yeah. So this one, you might want to have a metronome to kind of help push you through it, but you don't need it. Again, I don't think timing is an issue with you.
Let's see.
So palm muting. Here's another kind of exercise that you can think about. Because there's going to be a lot of that coming off and palm muting.
I think island style.
Yeah, it has a lot of that. Yeah. So just sitting there with an exercise, and this is kind of like a page out of a metal book, but just going, just getting used to letting it breathe and then choking it off.
Are those, so when you're playing those ghost notes, are you playing all three strings as well? Or?
Really, honestly, Kata, I'm trying to only play these two.
Yeah.
I do have my pinky there because of the years I've been playing. But when I'm strumming, I'm trying to only strum those two strings. But I'm not worried if I hit all six. You can't hear any of the things that. So to me, it's not. My left hand covers all the noise problems. My right hand just needs to bash the guitar. Because if you think about it, rhythm's so important that you don't want your rhythm-producing hand to be worried about
the sound.
Yeah, you just want it to play on time. Yeah. So that's just an exercise, and
I know you can also mute with your left hand.
Right.
And that's what I was doing with the basically the pre-chorus into let's do this.
Yeah.
I was doing upstairs.
Yeah, either way that works. But the issue with that is if we were to get microscopic on the two guitars, it wouldn't sound as good compared to having two guys playing all downstroke.
Okay.
But in a pitch, yeah. And then I get, my dynamics over the years have gotten a lot more spunky. So, maybe 10 years ago I would have been, now there's almost like a built-in snare drum when I'm playing. Yep. And those are all work in time. Yeah, that sounds perfect actually. Now you're not doing the exact same strumming pattern in my hand, but I think for choruses, not that important because it's so bombastic, right? And that rhythmically that matches up perfectly. So cool.
Okay. Cool. That's I think one of my favorite songs to play.
Nice.
It is pretty.
It is. It's got some different things. It's not just the same two chords the whole time. And it's not it's like that what everybody says. It's like challenging enough, but not too challenging.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's the thing. If it's too easy, it's not that fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was it's too early for me to get fancy, but when the drums come in, you know how you go oh wait. And then chord progression ends. Wait.
I see.
Yeah, I was doing that.
That'd be kind of fun if we that would be kind of fun actually.
Because you did that little level, so I was doing the just a little.
That thing. Ooh, this is fun. I could be able to do that thing now actually. So like, I might actually have you start it. Something that what I probably want, yeah, cool. I probably want you to be able to do in the future is play the octave chord.
Okay.
And what that is, it's like a power chord, except you're skipping a string. The string in the middle is dead. That thing's dead. There's a lot of muting going on here. So I'm only getting, if you take a listen to what I got, block, note, block, note, block, block. It's close. Yeah, see how you're getting that? Yeah. Yeah. Nice. This is good. One day, let's say I'm doing a song where I'm doing lead, all the things like on the recording, I can't do a lot of that crap. And you don't need to do it note for note. But without having to play scales, that's already something kind of fun. Actually, this is what I do for now that's fast and violent, but on a smaller level, for example, like like you can kind of do. So that's kind of like next level kind of thing. Once you get that down, then there's going to be all sorts of kind of fun. Yeah, but be careful. You don't want to get that fourth in there. Yeah, still getting it in there. Yeah, that's better.
Another thing I wanted to clean up was the harmonies.
Yeah, that might be something me, you, and Amy need to kind of meet up with. And depending on our availability, we might want to set something kind of semi-consistent, like being like every other week, supplementary to the regular rehearsals. Because to me that's important. And when it's just two people, it's easy just to kind of, in Amy's case, and even in my case when she's singing lead, just to grab whatever harmony comes natural to us.
Yeah.
And you sound like you're a little bit more informed than both her and I when it comes to that.
No, usually you only take the third or the fifth of the chord.
Right, of course, yeah.
But, well, that's the men's choir that I used to be in high school.
Right.
But she was singing what I was singing, because that's the go-to. I think the fifth is the easiest to go to, or the third. Right? Depending
on the person, yeah.
Yeah, and I was singing about a third or fifth higher.
Yeah. So I'm not sure what we can do with that now until she's here.
Yeah.
Unless you can guide me with that. I don't know.
No, I know what she's singing.
song were we doing?
Uh,
Island Style? Which one was the one that was like? I already
oh,
forgot.
Island Style.
Was that the one?
So in that part, we
On the island, we do it island style.
so that's what Amy's singing.
Yeah.
So I need to take somewhere in between.
Or adversely underneath. On the island. So here's another thing we can do. We do it. We do it.
I just need to find the first note.
Yeah. Then that's usually the easier thing.
Oh, there it is.
Okay. On the island, we do it island style. Okay, I gotta work on that now. Because now you got the low bar. Yeah, on the island, we do it island style. Yeah, shit, it's hard for me to say anything. On the island, we do it island style. Yeah.
Oh,
The last note needs to go someplace else. That might work. On the island, we do it island style. On the island, we do it island style. Yeah, I'm reaching for what you're giving me. On the island, we do it island style. On the island, we do it island style. You're matching me.
I'm stealing yours.
Yeah. On the island, we do it island style. We do it island style. Yeah. We do it island style. On the island, we do it island style. On the island, we do it island style. Shit, that's so good. On the island, we do it island style. That's what I'm supposed to be singing. We do it island style. On the island, yeah. We do it island style. We do it island style. Yeah. Just be careful with that one. Yeah, that's the other thing I work with Amy a whole lot is blend. So that's another element, which I think you already naturally do pretty well. Amy's boyfriend was terrible at it. Never really played with us at all. But when I'd watch them, I'm like, yo, your man is like overpowering you.
Oh, in DNA.
Yeah. And, to me, I don't really care if I have credit for anything, honestly. And my whole holistic thing is like, the world is a better place now. That's all I care about. And so for that last note, because it's a lower note, you want to make sure you're more felt than heard, which can be tough when you're singing. Yeah. But I think the more that we nail it, it gets easier.
Yeah. And then I think I can, now that I have my zone, I think
Yeah, you can stay over there. On the island, we do it island style. Then the next part. From the mountains to the oceans, from the windward to the leeward side. Yeah, nice. And that's a cool walk down right there. Yeah, I think you were pitting that from my memory. That sounded good at the rehearsal. Like that wasn't the hard part.
I was just feeling it.
Yeah. From the mountains to the oceans, from the windward to the leeward side. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
And then Amy sing.
From the mountains to the oceans. Yeah, to me that's the easy one, and I think that's the third above whatever the person. Because that one has more, like, that sounds like a harmony. When you sing a fifth above, it just almost sounds like a unison. It almost sounds like you're singing the same thing because that's how fifths work. So to me, the third comes really easily. Yeah.
Yeah.
But don't get that imprinted in your head.
No, I already have that in my head.
Yeah,
So
you gotta delete it. Yeah.
From the mountains to the oceans, from the windward to the leeward side. This is being recorded?
Yes,
Okay.
I am recording it. And this fucking mic stopped working.
Oh.
Irritating.
Yeah, I have another audio technica condenser. I'm sure you probably have multiple, but
Yeah.
it's catching dust if you want to borrow it.
Yes, please. Is it this old model or the new model?
I bought it new in 2019.
Oh, okay, yeah, so that's probably the newer model.
But it's an XLR, not
I don't know if I can use
but
that.
I have a Tascam audio interface, which you can
Good.
Okay.
Yeah, I have another one that I can use, but right now I think this will work fine, yeah. But that works much better. It just last night it stopped working. I was about to film myself playing piano for a half hour, and then my laptop wasn't seeing it. But when I look in the Windows settings, it's there, but it's recognizing it as a speaker and not a microphone. It's weird. Yeah, I don't know. I just recently had a Windows update, so might be because that thing is probably like 7, 8 years old.
Yeah.
It was born with Windows 7, so that's probably why it's giving me troubles now. Finally.
A driver update.
Yeah, and I did driver. I did the whole thing. I was like, update drivers, go to the website, and then the website also says this particular model's discontinued, so they don't give a shit.
No.
Yeah. And then I go, oh, that's good old American capitalism at work.
Yeah.
You know?
New one.
That seems to be the solution.
Trash it.
Yeah.
Cool.
So yeah, I think having supplementary rehearsals with just me, you, and Amy. And the thing is, like, we can go to like a fucking park with an acoustic guitar.
Yeah.
And like just do it like that. It doesn't, or we can all meet here or whatever.
People will toss coins at us.
Yeah. So then I had this fantasy for what I call Ukus Light, mostly just so that we can get gigging experience as like a 3-piece. In this case, I was also considering doing this with just me and Amy, but just to get more mileage on singing. And if we can fool the world into paying us to do it, even better.
I mean, Brian could be on the cajon.
He could, yeah. But that's up to him. I just like cymbals. The thing I hate most, cymbals, right behind it is cajon. Because my acoustic playing already has a lot of that stuff built into it.
You can do taps on it too. Right.
The only thing that I'm not good at is getting like the kick drum supplement. But like that sound right there is the sound of the cajon. So to me, when I play with cajon, we're both clashing on that backbeat thing, and it's like, what do you even hear, right? And then on top of that, most of the time cajons just sound like and that.
Yeah. Pretty silly. Yeah, that's exactly what it sounds.
That's what it sounds like to me, and so I'll get rid of it.
Adds noise and
to me, it's just adding noise. Then sound. Now, if somebody were to somehow, like, maybe put like a kick drum thing on it, like a kick, and I've seen this done, then it starts to sound a little bit more, little bit more, just a little bit.
Yeah. Because we want that bottom end.
Yes.
And the cajon doesn't really get
No.
it. Especially in an unmiked setting.
I know.
Sometimes you can mic it and then like EQ it.
Yeah.
The bottom end out of it, but and just outside in a park, it doesn't do much.
A little miniature kick drum, or even a floor tom flipped on its side and you put a kick on it.
I'd say even a tambourine would be better at that point.
Yes, a shaker. Yeah, and so and then the fact that the guy has to sit down and hunch over it, it's like everything about it, I'm just like.
Or even hand drums are even.
Yeah, bongo or djembe would be cooler in my opinion.
It's color.
Yes. Because again, now if I played guitar like this, which is most acoustic, there's no percussive push, but when I play it, so it's very backbeat heavy, but at least it's there. So in a way, if I play acoustic, I feel like the freaking whatever the fuck I'm trying to say is obsolete. Yeah. So,
what was the strumming here?
oh, okay. So this is, you might want to put a pick in your car.
Okay.
And you have the steering wheel, right?
Yeah.
This is your steering wheel. You're gonna go. Yeah. So you can actually practice while you're driving. That's what I used to do all the time. Okay, so the guy, and then we're just mimicking that at a really fast level. So I know you understand that rhythm. It's just getting it to translate to your hand.
So there's going to be 2 repeated downstrokes. Yeah. So that's probably the hardest part is doing the 2 double strokes in a row.
Yeah, those 16th notes.
After then going back to downstroke.
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah. So, on the island. Now putting a swing on it, which might make it easier to play. Yeah, now putting like a 6/8 feel on it. But you could also develop a technique where you can go. Yeah. And when I play really fast, that's how I play it. But so far, it doesn't really. To me, I like having every quarter note be consistently the same. Yeah. And if we can both play that cleanly together at those speeds, oh my god, it's gonna sound sexy.
That's gonna be money for a while.
That's fine. Thank goodness it's punk rock and not metal, right? But that's always like the cop out that it's nice that we have to fall back on, but I hate relying on that. Yeah, in long term goals, right? Because that's kind of I want to progress the genre in a way. So that's the forbidden beat. That's that to get. Yeah. So even when I'm doing but that we can simplify by going. Yeah, that's fine too. Because even this kata, that'll work if I'm doing, So for example, if we did Island Star, and then we just do that, and just hold that. Yeah, so that'll, because it's a fragment of that rhythm.
Okay, I was in.
Yeah, I saw. And for one instance, I was following you just to show. It sounds much better when we play the same thing, right? So yeah, I saw you, and I heard you going.
Because for me as a drummer, that's
and we can change it to that. I don't mind. And so when we did play that the other night, there was a few times where I just matched you just to see how it would sound. And it sounded better like that, but I would propose that's going to sound the best if we can get that rhythm. And so this kind of more fragmented, but rolling, I'm going to call it the rolling punk rock rhythm. That'll work in lieu of doing this. Yeah, so it's just replicating that You want to practice it again? On the island, boot camp. We do it island style. Yeah, say boot camp. On the island, we do it island style. Yeah, I'm singing what I'm singing. On the island, we do it island style. Yeah, yeah. On the island, we do it island style. Nice. On the mountains to the oceans, from the windward to the leeward side.
Oh, it's lower than I think.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
On
The island, on the island, we do it island style. From the mountains to the oceans, from the windward to the leeward side. On the island, we do it island style. From the mountains to the oceans, from the windward to the leeward side. Yep. That's a good little boot camp randomizer. So yeah, even on your even just on your thigh, you can go to get. It's just you understand the rhythm. It's just getting your right hand to do it, and doing it enough times to where you have the strength, stamina, endurance, flexibility, relaxation, all of those things. Because those are all related.
Yeah, this is a metronome thing for me, I think.
And I'm not trying to make your homework like an hour long. I'm just trying to make it like 5 minutes. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm tempted to do this, the upstroke.
and which will work. You just gotta remember to reverse it when it comes back around.
Yeah, no, it comes back around every two.
So you had an extra rhythm in there
Really?
on the way up, I think. Yeah. Here comes Santa Claus, 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 here comes Santa Claus. I didn't know that was the Here Comes Santa Claus rhythm until just now, until you played it slower. Yeah, but you can, and like, I'll stash like picks in my ashtray or whatever, and then if I'm like stuck in traffic, like at a stoplight or whatever, I'm like, and then the thing is, whatever song I'm listening to, whatever rhythm's at, that becomes my metronome. So for what, let's say it's this, very slow, right? So then I'll just go. Or I can double time it. So this is me double timing it. So I'm all about those little tricks, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's what I used to do with like just a song and then just add weird triplets.
Right.
How does a triplet go in here?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then that's the toolkit. I mean, for the most part, getting that rhythm down, then the more truncated rolling rhythm, because we do use that a bit from time to time. And if there's ever a moment where it's like, oh, I can't, I'm giving it all she's got, Captain, and it can't work, then just revert back to dun ga dun dun ga dun dun ga dun dun ga, because it's the same rhythm, just truncated. What else? There are some specific. So when we were doing P.E. Mike and Ollie, which did we ever do together? Yeah, I think we started doing that with you.
This one? The C, F,
Yeah.
C.
So we'll eventually get you on the harmony on that too. So then it goes one. Yeah, that's her part. Yeah. So the chorus goes. So that's pretty straightforward, and then the verses are a little. It's more of like a country feel, and then it goes. So it's got almost like the little. I guess you can perceive it as kind of swingy, but it's from a country shuffle. It's like boot, scoot, boogie. Yeah. In that couple little guy. Because I really want that to kind of be felt as like an upbeat and then rah together. Or no, it doesn't do that. Originally, I wanted it to do that, but we opted to just.
So were you palm muting that? Or
The first beat is unmuted, so 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. So that's kind of more of like a metal approach. Again, not the end of the world, but if we're both playing the same thing, and even Amy's doing that. And so then we're just freaking. Yeah, you're just winging it. The choruses you got fine.
I think I was in.
Yeah. So this is, I'm trying to remember things that I was like, oh. The other thing I didn't want to do is go like after every single song, be like, okay, everybody hold on while I explain, 15 minutes, this or whatever it is.
What this is for.
Yeah. And so the other thing too is like, I kind of want to make sure that we remember all these little details, and so that's why I'm not really interested in learning like all the songs all at once right now, because right now you got to play catch up supposedly. And so I kind of want to craft it as we go. And then the sooner that you can, replicate it to the way that we want it, then each time we rehearse it, you're just going to get better and better, and then it's just going to get cemented. Yeah, it's already getting better. Yeah, and then that's. Yep. So if you want to get better at playing without looking, you're going to find that there's a lot of these L-shaped things. So this is an L, right? Get used to playing the L. And you actually have information in your hand. Can I teach you this? Your fingers actually giving you more information. So if I know part of the L is straight up, that shouldn't be too much problem, right? So this is level 1. Can you jump between the 2 strings? Making it sound good. Okay. Now to get to that corner of the L, put your ring finger where your pointer finger is. Look at that. And then from there, it's the same thing. Because you're either replacing your ring finger with your pointer finger, or you're replacing your pointer finger with your ring finger. And so these L shapes are all over the place for a lot of these songs. Like Island Style, it's the same L shape. Eventually when we do like a more complicated song, like, well, it's not complicated, but as far as chord progressions go, it's kind of complicated. Rhythm of the Ocean. So the main L is now like this, and that's in G flat. And then it goes up to the 5th. So that's where your ring finger is. Yeah. Then you're gonna replace your ring finger with your pointer finger. Now you gotta go all into the gutter. 1 fret up, straight down, replace your ring finger. Too far. You went too far. Yeah. But you see that? That's all without looking. And so eventually, if we rehearse 1,000 times, you can start concentrating more on not looking and kind of being really mindful. That's also the beauty of playing rhythm guitar, is that your job is relatively simple. And if you're not singing, God, you can just spend your time going, okay. Especially if you have somebody else playing the same thing, because if you make a mistake, that's fine, just fix it and hide behind the other guy. Right? So that's a good opportunity. By the way, that's most of the progression. So all the way down to the gutter. All the way, yeah. And then one fret up from there. No, one fret up from there. Then straight up to the starting chord, straight down. Yeah. As a child, I used to play all day in the wings. Late at night in my bed, staring the seeds still inside my head. I asked my father, Daddy, what can it be? And he said, waterman, you just like the sea. Moving and grooving to the rhythm of the ocean. To the rhythm of the ocean. Falling away. To the rhythm of the ocean. Moving and grooving to the rhythm of the rain. It actually starts with an L. So these little L's, the more you become like aware of them, yeah, it's just gonna get easier because then you can kind of just drag and drop that mechanical information, you know. So L's. What I also kind of want to do is, you know, we have those first 5 that we kind of had been doing.
Yeah.
And in a way, I kind of want to like skip and go straight to the newer ones, and then kind of backfill the older ones. In a way, whatever works. But I think, and I've done this with many bands before, where we wait till the member gets trained up, but then the guys that are,
but they keep moving ahead because
it prevents us from moving ahead because we're waiting for them to get all the backlog stuff, and then for some people in the band, it gets frustrating because it's like, fuck, we've been playing these same songs. Now we got to go back to the beginning and do it all over again.
Yeah, you guys have quite a few songs since last
Yeah, and there's more coming down the pipeline. I got like, it's kind of crazy. It's getting easier. When I, you know, once upon a time I was like, I don't know, I don't think we can even cover 20 minutes worth of music. Now I'm like, oh, I think we can play 45 minutes, like no problem.
Yeah, like learning a song on a guitar is a little bit harder than drums.
Really? Yes. Thank you. No, this is what I wanted to hear.
No, a lot harder. Well, I know that. I mean, but
yeah, I've always bitched at drummers about this because like you guys can essentially just hold time, and if you don't play the fills note for note, your job is really easy.
Yeah, all you
comparatively.
have to do is figure out the groove.
Yeah.
And memorize the song.
Yeah.
When this happens and when that happens.
You can brute force it. Some guys brute force it. They'll go, okay, 16 measures, and then the chorus is 8 measures or like whatever it is. I don't like doing that. I never have. But some guys brute force it like that. But again, that's a lot easier than going, you know, chord progression, you know, the infinity possibility there. Yeah, so it's a slower process. But the good news is, for the ones that are already established, you kind of know the structure. So that's kind of another edge you have, which is cool. What else can I potentially teach you?
This is a good baseline.
Shall we recap? We got like 5 minutes to go, so recap what we did. So I opened up with a very simple rudiment thing. This is more for picking. And that's just to get used to the pick in your hand. You could then apply this to power chords too. You could go down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. You can also apply it to palm muting. Most of the time that's all down until you get to about here. Then you have to do down and up. So even 8 notes are typically downs when you're palm muting. So that's very simple. Then I suggested something like combining palm muting. That's the rainbow in the dark. But then the main. Yeah, that's 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Not just getting used to the engagement and disengagement. Then there was, we talked about power chords a little bit.
Forbidden beats.
So the forbidden rhythm is whatever. I mean, I don't know if that's official, but and keep in mind, eventually, you know, you're going to be applying this to power chords, so you don't really need to worry about full-blown strums. It's just kind of the area up there. But again, that's more later. Yeah. Then there's the truncated one, the rolling rhythm, which is dun 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 L shapes is kind of a cool idea. So that's another thing too, is that you can combine these exercises with L shapes. And in fact, if you move that around, that's what we do in Peaking My Finale. Yeah. See, I don't even remember.
Yeah.
The other thing too is that because I'm not playing with another guitarist, I'm not really accountable for playing the same thing.
Yeah.
If anything, Amy sometimes will remind me, like I'll be like, "Oh, her bass line isn't." Oh shit, that's because I'm not playing what I'm supposed to be playing. Right, and so you can sit there with that. I like to play it like that.
Just working on the point.
Yeah, that was a kind of reveal right there. Yeah, because if that's there, then the ring, you know, that power chord distance. Yep. I haven't been taking notes here. Unconventional lesson.
Strumming.
Yeah, your main complaint was strumming, so.
Yeah. And yeah, that's over time, but I'm gonna start doing this. I mean, I'm not even needing a pick to just do this when I'm flying with a student.
Right. Yeah, you don't need it. The only thing I suggest about having a pick in your hand is that it's the tool that you got to get used to in your fingers. Remember you said, well, it's kind of awkward having it. Yeah, it is. It's going to be awkward for a long time. So the more that you have it in your hand. But yeah, you can get the fundamentals with that. I'll do the fake pick.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like the strings getting in the way.
Yeah, getting used to having it.
Yeah, not in the way. Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost like you know, if your fingers are like this, it doesn't get stuck. But if your fingers are like this, it gets stuck.
Yeah.
So it's kind of what's happening there, and yeah, you kind of have to angle the pick off so it doesn't get stuck in there.
Yeah.
But then flip it when it comes back up so it doesn't get stuck in it the other direction.
Yeah. By the way,
Yes.
I'm not used to having a pick here.
Uh-huh.
Because I used to have an Epiphone dot. And
Right. So like that. Yeah, like that. Yeah.
So that's why I'm getting all these scratch marks here.
Nice.
Is that normal, or do I need to strum here instead of here?
Strum where you like. I strum there all the time. What we could
Digging
do.
too far in.
What you could also do is you can lower that whole pickup. Lower. But that's gonna make it sound softer too. But whenever you're in overdrive, humbucker all the way. Which that's gonna be you for the most part.
For the rhythm.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you could lower it, and it should go lower, and then you'll have more headroom.
Yeah, that's kind of the strap design, right?
Yeah, right now you have what's called a fat strap design. You know, because there is more space between those two pickups, right?
Yeah.
So that's the fat strap because you have a humbucker. Probably one of the most versatile pickup configurations. That is, yeah. So like when I play pop music, that's the kind of guitar I like to use. That setup. So I can get the overdrive and then all the typical pop Stratocaster things.
Yeah, it's nice. It's light, very light.
Yeah, like that's
The
why.
dot or the less
Dude,
Y.
we're a freaking Ibanez band.
Yeah,
I love it.
just noticed that.
So Amy has an Ibanez too,
Oh, really?
like a white one that she usually uses. But
Japanese all the way.
I know, I love it. I can't wait for them to sponsor us. They're gonna be like, look, they're all using Ibanez, and you should sponsor this band. That'd be a dream come true for me, actually. I've been playing. This is my first real guitar, actually, and I've been
Yeah.
part of the company believing in it at least since then.
Yeah, the dot that I have, it's still in Japan in my aunt's house. But
Oh, nice.
it was fun. It's a nice tone. I mean, Dave Grohl uses it.
Yeah.
Like, the Oasis uses it.
Uh-huh.
It's got a rock tone. It's a very meaty tone.
Uh-huh.
It's heavy. Like,
Right. These are like freaking blades. Or they're just like really light. If you think that's light, this thing is. Just hold it.
oh wow, yeah. This one's heavier.
Yeah, a little heavier,
Yeah.
but not that much.
Yeah.
The body's even thinner. This is the S series, so.
Okay. I don't know what this series is.
GA, I think. Sound gear.
Oh, this is the SA series.
Oh, you also have an S.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was manufactured like a while ago, so I couldn't really